Hello, I'm Rob Gould. I am very proud to be bringing you the 15th annual Anthracite Triathlon. We are again at the transition area. This is where we'll also have athlete check-in in the morning, Sunday the morning. This also will have athlete check-in on Saturday. It's an optional packet pickup on Saturday, anytime between 12 and 4. We also do a course talk on Saturday at 2 o'clock and at 4 o'clock. So you're invited to come to those also. We'll answer any other questions you might have. Be sure when you show up for your packet that you bring your photo ID, and if you're a USAT member, you have to have your USAT card. You have to have those things. If you're not a USAT member, then just your photo ID. I just took another water temperature here at the lake. Right now we're reading 80 degrees, so bring your wetsuit, but can't say if it's going to be wetsuit legal. Our swim starts on the far side of this beach. We start all the swimmers in the water, and it's a counterclockwise loop. And as you run back up from your swim, there's a sidewalk there with a yellow handrail. You run up that sidewalk, and then the rest of the way we have carpeted all the way into transition.
Hello everyone, it's Frank Romero with Hazy Racing. Just wanted to go over a few additional points that Rob may have covered in a little bit more detail this time. So when you are swimming out, you're going to be going in a counterclockwise direction. Make sure that when you hit the turn buoy, that turn buoy is on your left shoulder. Once you come around and you come in through the swim area, that the swim buoy is on your left. You will be going through the buoys that are set up here at the entrance. Here are a few quick reminders about your swim. Don't forget your swim cap, which will be in your packet, as well as your goggles, if you need them, your wetsuit, and earplugs, nose plugs if you use those as well. If you have a timing chip, make sure that is put around your ankle before heading into the water.
Here's another shot of the transition area, or where the transition area will be. Our new finish line area is on this side of the transition area. You're going to follow along the outside, and we'll have a second wind timing tent and arch back there near the backstop. So the swim in and the run out is on this side. The finish area is along the back side. And down there next to that tree, that's where the bike out and the bike in happens. We have you run through the transition area onto the road, and there'll be a mount line and a dismount line as soon as you get off onto the pavement, and that's where you start your bike.
All right, you made it through the swim, you've gone through transition, and right here is where the mount and dismount line will be. This is a good time to go over some of the USAT rules. Before you get on your bike, you need to make sure that your helmet is snapped in. You cannot get on your bike without a helmet. It's against the rules, and I encourage you to go to USAT and find out all of the rules that apply. Another important USAT rule that needs to be followed is no drafting while on the bike. We need to make sure that we have at least 3 bike lengths in front of us, and you take the proper measures to pass and to give yourself that time to be passed.
A couple safety notes about the bike. When you're leaving the park, it's a left-hand turn towards Summit Hill. There's some tire treadles there. As you're leaving the park, it's a little bit of an uphill, so you'll be going slow enough. It's very easy to avoid them. And the treadles are turned down, but it's still a speed hump that you want to avoid. But on your way back in, at the end of your bike, you want to be aware that those tire treadles are there, and you can go around them on any side or through them in the middle. You might not want to hit them straight on with your bike on your return. There are 2 very steep descents on the bike course. One is as you're leaving Summit Hill. You'll know you're on my fast descent because your bike, it'll want to go about 40-45 miles an hour. Feel free to use your brakes. And you will need to use your brakes because there are 2 very sharp turns. When you see the road veering off to the right, That's the first one. It wraps right around a telephone pole. It's a blind turn because it's a 90-degree turn. As you're going into Summit Hill, there are 2 traffic lights. You go straight through the first one, but the second one is a solid 90-degree right-hand turn. You need to slow down for that one. The other steep descent is in Nesquehoning, and you'll see there's a McDonald's on your left, there's a Redner's on your left, and that one is a little bit more of a sweeping right-hand turn. There'll be police controlling that intersection. It's not a solid, hard 90-degree, but it's still sharp enough that you'd need to slow down a little bit for that. On the bike course, there are several traffic lights. All traffic lights or stop signs that you would see, we have those controlled by police and fire police. But if for any reason you come across an intersection that you do not see as controlled, you always want to take your own personal safety into your own hands. All the intersections are controlled, and we will let the bikers have the right of way through. When you're coming up on an intersection, look for our purple standing arrows. They'll point the bikes in the right direction.
Remember, you paid for 24.5 miles of cycling. Don't cut yourself short. This means that you're going to be passing the park on your left, getting to the Summit Hill turnaround, and then returning to the park on your right. These will still be here. Do not ride your bike over these treadles. Remember, you're going to stay on the switchback trail. Don't go that way. All right, I have to admit, even with all the awesome signs that we have out there giving you directions, when to make a left, when to make a right, this one's a little bit tricky. So when you're coming down the trail, there'll be an arrow telling you to make a right. This is where you will be heading to the breast of the dam, and you'll be running the entire length of the dam, making a turnaround, and then coming back. There will be an arrow here telling you to make a right. So you will head down the trail that way. So let me say that again. When you start your run, you will be coming down the trail and you will be making a right. You'll run the length of the breast of the dam, then turn around, and you'll be making a right off into the trail again. So when you come back, you will actually be making a left-hand turn to go back onto the dam. You'll run out, turn around, and come back, and then you'll be making a left to get to the finish line. I said it was a little bit confusing, but we will have arrows and an aid station here. So if you have questions, it's better to ask. Anthracite is an Olympic distance triathlon, which means it's 6.2 miles. Don't shortchange yourself here either. Make sure that you're following the entire length of the breast of the dam and you're coming back on the same path. And once you see the mosquito house, you're almost